Hey YouTube, welcome back to Tinker with Tools. It's time for us to talk about a drill from Fein Tools. So let's go ahead and get into that on Tinker with Tools. Now about a month ago I had actually posted a video about a festival drill, and one of the viewers actually commented down below that I needed to check out the multi-head drill drivers from Fein. And although Fein was definitely a brand that had been on my radar before, I had never really checked them out, typically because of price and availability. But that night when I went ahead and checked what was available from Acme Tools, that is when I noticed that they had one of their drills on a pretty deep discount. So I went ahead and purchased it, and I want to go ahead and take you through what makes this drill unique, maybe what some of its strong suits are, definitely what some of its weaknesses or drawbacks are, and do some testing and kind of give you my overall thoughts and opinions on it. Now, the model I'm going to be talking about specifically is the Fein ASCM 18 QSW AS. And that is a load of alphabet soup, makes it really hard to remember. But on Acme Tools' website, they refer to it as their 4-speed general construction drill. Now, this is a lighter duty tool. We'll cover all the different specs about it, but it is also going to be only available as a tool only option. So you're not going to be getting Fein branded batteries and chargers with it. Despite that fact, it does come with a nice carrying case. In fact, this is going to be an L-box carrying case. But the biggest benefit to this type of box, in my opinion, and this is something that's pretty common with German tool manufacturers, is there's going to be a good amount of information on the outside of the box. It allows you to see what's in the box without maybe having to open it and kind of do some guesswork on it. So I really like those features. But then they also allow for some added expansion in the future should you purchase more accessories. And this is definitely a tool that has some ability to buy some future accessories. But in the box right now, all you're going to be getting is the drill itself, a belt hook, and a little magnetic clip that goes on the opposite side of the belt hook. Now, as I mentioned, tool only kind of makes you wonder how you're going to be powering the tool, and that's where you're just going to be turning to your Bosch tool batteries. Basically, they are part of the Bosch AmpShare program. In Europe, Bosch has established their AmpShare program where their tool batteries can be used with a number of different tools that allow you to kind of have a single battery platform but have some added versatility from other companies. Bosch is definitely the biggest company, but Fein is probably one of the larger brands that's a part of that. And they have some very specialty metalworking tools that I think makes it a very popular extension to the AmpShare program. Now let's cover some general specs for the tool. Torque is not going to be a figure that jumps off the page. They quote both a hard torque and a soft torque figure. The hard torque is at 354 inch-pounds. The soft torque is going to be down at 266 inch-pounds. But what's interesting about the spec sheet is that they do also quote figures for the amount of vibration and the amount of noise that it's making. And so it definitely appears to be other considerations to what they're trying to accomplish with this tool besides just raw power. Now, it is a 4-speed gearbox. That's something I mentioned earlier on. But what's nice about that is it does give you an RPM range from 400 all the way up to 2,500. There is a 20 position clutch that we'll do some testing with later. So I do think this is going to be more geared for lighter duty but precise tasks. But the biggest thing that makes this drill unique is definitely going to be its QuickIN attachment system that allows you to swap out this traditional drill chuck for other attachments. Now, unlike some of the other multi-head drill drivers that come with various attachments in the box, this is the only one you're getting, but they have far more attachments or chucks that kind of make it a little bit more dedicated into specific tasks. Now, I've only purchased one other, and that is going to be the bit holding attachment. It is a bit on the pricier side. The attachment itself is close to $50, but with that $50, you're getting something that's really well made and very high quality. Now, the reason why I say that is because one of the best known bit holders on the market for having just supreme bit holding is going to be the Wiha Centrofix. And the reason why it's so popular with certain people is because when you put a bit in here, there is absolutely no play, no movement from the bit. It almost feels like it's completely welded together. And that is the exact type of attachment that you're getting here. Now, it doesn't carry the Centrofix branding, but it is very much a Centrofix, and that is definitely going to be seen in its ability to hold bit. When you put a bit in there and lock it into place, it is definitely very rigid. There is no forward and back play. And I think that's going to contribute to this being a pretty good, precise system. Now, like other multi-head drill drivers, they offer kind of some of the standard attachments that you can purchase aftermarket. Like I said, the drill chuck. They then also have the bit holder. They do make a right angle attachment that is pretty standard with this type of tool. And then they also even have the eccentric chuck or the offset chuck. But where this system shines over others is in what else you can go ahead and buy for that. I'm going to go ahead and read through some of these. They have what they call the Vario adapter, which this is going to be for their specific twist drill bits, countersinks, and tappers. They then have a tapping head, a depth stop head that is going to allow for precise setting of screws. They have a hole saw adapter that works with their own proprietary hole saw adapters. They have a tap adapter. They have a square drive socket adapter, which I know you're not getting a ton of torque about this, but if you're just running in a nut on something, that could be a really appealing option in my opinion. That's something you don't get with the other multi-head drill drivers. So then a lot of those tasks are going to be geared more for metalworking and kind of specific tasks that are going to be very valuable. Now, I'm not a metal worker by any shape of the imagination, so really my focus on this tool is going to be more on the wood side, but that is something that this offers that pretty much no other drills on the market are going to offer you. So if that is something that interests you, I definitely would encourage you to check this out because I think it offers a lot of really good versatility and something that is truly unique about this drill. For our testing today, we're mostly just going to be kind of seeing how this drill performs in kind of common task and what the difference is going to be if you're using it in speed 1, 2, 3, or 4. We are going to be using both the regular drill chuck, and then I'm also going to be talking about this bit holder. We will test the clutch sensitivity out as well to kind of give you a feel for that. So first and foremost, it is not a heavy duty drill. Don't buy it thinking it's going to be for those applications. It is a lighter duty drill. While that being said, it's also not the most compact drill. So I think maybe that's going to be a little bit to its detriment that it is not ultra compact, which usually goes along with lighter duty. Now the things that I do like about it, first and foremost, the 4-speed gearbox. That's something that I tested pretty extensively, trying it out with different bits to see what it was capable of in each speed. I really like the ability to adjust the tool and kind of set it to the setting that's going to be best for the job that I'm doing. The clutch is definitely geared towards precision, but if you put it down in speed 1, it will kind of overpower the clutch and just kind of keep on driving the fastener. but definitely up in speed 2, 3, and 4. You do get it to really stop and not really overpower the clutch at all. So kind of keep that in mind when you're using it. What it does have though is some of the best low speed control that I've ever seen on a tool. I can get this thing to spin about 6 RPMs. Okay, not even joking. There's a little mark on the top of the chuck. You go ahead and spin it. It takes between 10 and 12 seconds to make one full revolution. And so you're really able to finally control how fast this thing is going. All right, so we've talked about the testing. We've talked about a lot of the good. What is some of the bad, or the reasons why maybe a lot of people don't consider this drill? Well, the first and biggest point is definitely going to be price. When it's not on sale, this is $324 as a bare tool. All that comes with it, like I said, is the standard drill check, nice case, and the tool. No batteries, no charger, no various multi-heads. And so I really think that is going to be a sticking point. Now, right now, it is on sale, I don't know for how long, for $150 off. At that price point, coming in under $200, if you're already on the Bosch platform, obviously I could see some people deciding, okay, this is something worth checking out. But then as a reminder, you're not getting multiple heads with this, you're just getting the basic tool. The price of the heads is also going to be a sticking point for a lot of people, in my opinion, because it's just going to be such an added cost over what you can get from other manufacturers. I've mentioned this before with Festool, where you're only getting 3 of the heads in the box when you buy the full kit. This is going to be even more egregious, and the head and the attachment prices are going to be similar to what you're getting for Festool. Just the ones that I was able to find on Amazon that are available for me to kind of purchase and have shipped to me. The Vario adapter is going to be $109. The angle head is going to be $149. The socket adapter, which I think would be awesome to have, is $54.95. So then I get that I'm not the target audience of this. I'm predominantly a woodworker, but if you are someone who prefers a precise, well-made, German-made tool, and one that definitely just features maybe a little bit more refinement over what you're getting over your standard tool, something that I think a lot of people turn to something like Festool for, that definitely is what you're going to be getting from this company. It's definitely one of the hallmarks of this drill, and one of the reasons why, if that's what you're looking for, you might be impressed with this type of drill. If you are a dedicated metal worker, having some of those specific attachments that they have, I think is a really attractive option. And the fact that they work both with this lighter duty drill and the heavier duty drill, and it's one system that goes across everything, I really think that most of you are not going to be interested in this type of tool. But I do think that there's something that it does offer that pretty much no other tool on the market does. And so that's why I do want to test it and make it known so you can kind of see how it compares. Now, for the future of this tool on this channel, we are going to be including it in an upcoming 18 to 20 volt multi-head drill driver showdown, where we're going to be pitting it against the likes of DeWalt, Skill, Bosch, and Festool to see really kind of which one reigns supreme. If you have suggestions for what you want to see in that upcoming head-to-head, go ahead and leave them in the comments down below. Now, additionally, I do intend to buy the bigger brother of this drill, going with that kind of larger, heavier duty hammer drill version, and maybe even testing out some of the different attachments. So go and let me know if you have specific things you'd like to see come to the channel from the company Fein, because I do think there's some interesting stuff here. It's just not going to be for everyone, and I get that. But if you like this sort of video, go ahead and hit that like button. Make sure to leave any questions down in the comments below. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. Make sure to turn on notifications so you get notified when I put out a new video. And as always, thank you for the support. And until next time, I'll catch you on Tinker with Tools.